Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we are specifically going to talk about why Sheila never makes it to Stormwreck Isle. Excuse me. So, huge moment in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. The start of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, going over the OSR and saying, I'll take that crown, take it off your head. We're old school, you guys, so if anybody's into old school, they're going to run D&D 5e because we actually have old school. We have the rights to it. We don't have to copy it. We don't have to stand next to it. We don't have to give it weird names. Like, we literally own old school, right? And so basically, you're going to see this, and Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, the brand new starter set coming out from Dungeons and Dragons, is huge. So, in my humble opinion, what's happening with this is Wizards of the Coast is actually giving us the ending. They're starting to craft the ending for the 1983 television animated show, right? And so what do we know so far? Eric, Hank, Diana, and Presto all never escape the Faerun, never escape Faerun. They never escape the D&D realm, right? They remain there, continue to be adventurers. Bobby and Uni are split off from them, as well as Sheila and Dungeon Master. Today, I'm going to give you my humble opinion on exactly what happened to Sheila. So basically, I think Bobby split off from the group specifically to go find a safe space for Uni, because Uni was constantly under attack in their adventures. I totally get that, right? It's my humble opinion. What about Sheila? Let's talk about Sheila specifically. So, in my humble opinion, what happened to Sheila, and why is she not with Eric, Hank, Diana, and with Presto? Right? Here's the answer. She did. All right. Why do I think this? Well, there's a lot of evidence toward it. All right. Here we go. So, in my humble opinion, this is the reason why it is logical to understand Sheila is not there with the group, because she's dead. First of all, they're a adventuring group. We all play Dungeons and Dragons, right? If you have a good dungeon master and you start a campaign, there's any good dungeon master, there's no probability that your entire party group gets out of that alive. There's almost always one, I would say 99% of the time, in any good Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign, there is a situation where one of the player character dies and has to re-roll, right? And then there's a conversation of, do you lose a level? Do you get started level everybody else? But one of your player characters, their player character is going to die, okay? And if it was, and that means that the party, the adventuring party, Bobby, Uni, Sheila, Hank, Eric, Diana, and Presto, right? If one of them is going to die, it's pretty clear who, right? Sheila. The reason why is I think she was equally strong, equally as talented as the rest of the group when it came to adventuring, except emotionally. You could see them being trapped in this other world in the show, which I recently watched. I watched it when it was on in 1983. I was 13 to 16, and I watched it on Saturday morning cartoons. And then, but I probably missed a few back then because I had soccer practice and just kind of weird stuff, But I rewatched it recently when Wizards of the Coast put the entire series on Twitch, which was really helpful. And I have some videos right on this channel that cover specific episodes, and I absolutely loved it. And so here's the issue. If you watch the show, it was very clear that Sheila was always sad, that she was, you get the idea that Sheila wanted to be back in, back in the real world, getting ready for prom. She was not feeling this, right? And emotionally, throughout the show, you can see she's really impacted more than any other of the adventurers, right? And so I think what happens is they just continue adventuring the way they always do, right? The party group. And they get to an exact Balrog situation, a situation where the group's being chased by probably 1,000 undead skeletons that some necromancer brings out, right? And they're chasing through a mountain pass, and they go across this one area where the stone for 80 feet is 2 feet thick and is very fragile, and they all barely get over, and Sheila's in the last in last position, and realizes that if this pass remains, they're going to be overwhelmed by the numbers, and she just does a "you shall not pass," and makes it so that all the skeleton that hundreds of skeletons fall, and there's no path for the rest of the skeletons to follow, right? And at this point, you have this situation where basically she does a complete Gandalf, where she sacrifices herself, but she ain't Gandalf. There ain't no white robe return version for Sheila, right? And I think she does it because she's tired, right? Like, she's tired of never being able to return to Earth, and she's tired of constantly worrying if Bobby is going to get hurt, right? Because that's her brother. And she's tired of wondering, what the heck is Dungeon Master doing? Why is he not, really helping us? What's behind all that? And unlike the rest of them, I think she just, she wants to be helpful to the rest and make sure that her actions deliver that, that safety in one large instance, but it costs her life. I think the reason Sheila isn't there is because she's dead, in my humble opinion. I think that's what happened. What do you think? Why do you think Sheila is not with Eric, Hank, Presto, and Diana? I'd love to hear that. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.